This is another Myron Fresh and Fit video, bro, because they did that USC thing, but it's interesting to me. Like, I like to watch it, so we're gonna watch them. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and let's get into it. It's a dude that's been watching his videos for a long time, and like now he's mad at the dude. So like, let's get into it. Some shit like that.
Almost every single podcast you ever did for about 1.5 years. And for about 2 years, it led me astray.
How did it lead you astray?
Well, you told me to go sleep with a bunch of women and date multiple women at the same time, which I did. And it significantly damaged my life. Now I'm happily married. What you were causing me to do was sin against myself. And that's the point I'm trying to get to. It's immoral.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take personal responsibility, bro. The reality is I armed you with the tools to become an attractive guy, and you utilize that. You can't come back and get mad
No,
and
you
say,
didn't arm me with that. I became attractive when I followed Jesus. That was it.
Now you're operating with 20/20 hindsight. You're not going to be able to identify your wife and have been able to find her and figure out what characteristics you like and don't like unless you went through that.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So I don't know, do you remember me at all?
No.
Okay. So can I ask a quick synopsis of what you think the prescription is for society today for men? In a short version, what do you think they should do to be successful with women?
To be successful with women,
Yeah.
okay.
Here. Boom. I'm gonna tell y'all as a 21-year-old man to pull some 21-year-old women. This is what you gotta do. You gotta at least dress decent. I ain't gonna say you dress like super crazy. Dress decent. Have a decent income. Like, bro, nigga, work at Panda Express. Nigga, have income. Like, have a car. Shit, sometimes you don't even have a whip. Like, nigga, I crashed my car for like a good 4 months. I ain't have a car. I was still getting played. So, and then like, be kind of a dick. Like, I'm on some real shit. Be kind of a dick. And then look, by 21, you gotta look more than just semi-attractive. You gotta be like decently attractive.
Okay, are we talking about like getting a girl for a long-term relationship, just to get laid? What are you talking about?
Well, I think the only reason should be for a long-term relationship and marriage. I mean, that's Jesus Christ founded it, but I'm just curious what your prescription is.
Well, I've talked about this. I think guys have to have certain things in place, right, before they want to get into a long-term relationship. It's 5 things. So I would say 100K per year, 6 figures a year, 6 months to 1 year of savings, be in good shape, have at least 50 partners, right, sexual body count.
All right, and then what's
Bro, I guarantee half of them girls are already at like 20.
is that the last one?
And then there's one more, but that's fine. You could go ahead and
Okay.
engage with what I've said so far.
So the reason I asked that is I've watched almost every single podcast you ever did for about 1.5 years. So much so that I bought into a lot of the things that you said. And for about 2 years, it led me astray and significantly damaged my personal life, including relationships.
How did it lead you astray?
Well, you told me to go sleep with a bunch of women and date multiple women at the same time, which I did. And it significantly damaged.
Alright, I'll say one thing about sleeping with a bunch of women. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. It figures out a lot of shit, bro. Like, it shows you what you want and what you don't want. Because a lot of times, if you lay that pipe down good, therefore, you probably will link with that girl multiple times. So, therefore, when you link in with that girl multiple times, you kind of like figure out how she is and what she do and how she move. So, therefore, sometimes you like, I don't want that type of girl. So then you move on, go to a different girl. She does something the opposite. And you're like, I don't like that. And then you do that for the next 5 girls. And then that 6th girl, like that 8th girl you see, she don't do none of that. She do everything that you like. Then boom, you found out what you wanted. It's pretty simple like that. Like, I don't feel like guys are really that like hard to deal with. Like, I feel like as a dude, we just don't want you to be a hoe. Like, I don't want to see your Snapchat have 70 different guys in the past 4 hours. I don't want your phone keep blowing up. I don't want you to be complicated and be like, oh, you're going to your friend's house at 1 a.m. Like, bro, and then not know how to communicate, don't know how to take accountability, always have to lie. Like, those are little things like, bro, you're not going to find that in the first 3 girls you probably sleep with. And if you do, then you're just a lucky ass nigga. Like, most of the girls that you sleeping with, they are like that because they don't have guidance. They are in the now, like social media now. And like, yes, when I was younger, my Snapchat was like filled with a bunch of females. Like, I looked at it the other day, I was like, God damn. But because I had a screen recording. I was like, God damn, like, because it came up from like 2 years ago. But I was in like the social, like, oh, talking to a bunch of females, that shit's smooth. But then it's kind of like I did it. Now I figured out what I wanted, so I got the tools from being a hoe. Now I'm just cooling. Like, I'm seeing what I want, and if I don't see that, then I don't really fuck with you. Like, it's not because I ghost you because you're unattractive. No, like, I just don't see me talking to you. Like, I don't like how you moved, if that makes sense. So let's get into it.
My life. And it wasn't until I actually turned around and started listening to Jesus Christ that I was saved. Now I'm happily married. I have one child now with another one on the way, and I've never felt happier. But I felt...
Congratulations, that's good. That's really good.
Thank you. And I know you're not against that, but my concern is what you're saying to men leads them astray, because I'm a walking example of it. And I think you're significantly damaging people, and especially you're leading people away from morality. Women are not sex objects. Women are created in the image of God, and they are valuable. And they should be treated as such. Why should God give you one of his children if you don't even...
All right, but you can also say that, but you go on a college campus, bro, they dress like straight hoes. like, bro, they got pretty shorts that are showing half their ass, shirts that have half their tits out. Like, what the fuck? Dang, I'm supposed to marry that?
know how to treat them. So I think...
So a question for you.
And the sad reality is, they think that's all right. Like, they think that's all right to wear. Like, I feel like if I'm getting with a girl, I don't want them showing their body off, and that's not insecurity, bro. You're a prize. Why? I don't want to share number one place with every other person. I don't want everybody to see your body. Like, that's not insecurity, bro. That's just maturity.
You said you got out there dating and meeting women and stuff like that, and then you said that it kind of hurt you.
Yeah.
How did it hurt you specifically? Did you like just start? What happened specifically?
Well, I started warring against my own flesh. It's like trying to fill an empty void. Mm-hmm. There's a God-shaped vacuum in the heart of every man that can only be filled by God alone. Anything else you try to fill with that's not going to satisfy it. Sure. And I tried to do it with sex.
Yeah. So, would it be fair? How'd you meet your wife?
We actually had the #1 dating podcast in North and South Carolina called Who Hurt You Podcast. Okay. And I'm also friends with Fresh. I know him very well. I texted him before I came here. Yep. And I know pretty much everyone on your crew. But I was a heavy follower, and you actually inspired me to start the podcast, and I realized what I was doing was wrong.
Yeah, so would it be fair to say that when you went through that experience, you were able to identify characteristics that you probably found as unredeemable and you probably wouldn't want to commit to, right?
In what way?
Well, when you were seeing these women, right, you probably started seeing patterns in how they behave, how they speak or whatever. Maybe they're not.
Chat, I said that earlier in the video. Did I not? I swear to God, I'm a magician.
Not qualified to be a wife. Because the thing is, right?
Well, I don't need that. I have the Bible for that. It tells me what to look for.
Yeah, but the thing is that you were able, and again, you're probably not going to notice it, but when you dated and dealt with all these women, you probably were able to identify characteristics that you were not fond of, or characteristics that would make a woman not a good candidate for a long-term relationship. And I think half the game is figuring out which girls don't qualify for marriage versus which ones that do. And clearly you learned a skill set on how to become attractive and get women, and then you're able to identify the things that you like versus the things that you don't like. And that only comes a lot of times with experience. Now, look, if a guy can go ahead and find a woman as a virgin and be attractive and be able to understand how to navigate that, that's great in modern times. But the reality is a lot of guys don't. And I mean, even in your success story, you had to go through a lot of bad women to be able to identify your current wife as the one. So failures are good. They're good.
Yeah, failures, failures in the sense of socioeconomic or maybe even relationship failures could be good. But there's a difference with what I'm saying. I'm saying that we're warned against our soul. Jesus Christ commands us to marry one woman. That's it.
Sure.
And what you were causing me to do was sin against myself. And that's the point I'm trying to get to. It's immoral.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take personal responsibility, bro. Because here's the reality.
No, I do, 100%.
Yeah, so
very publicly, I have in front of over 40,000 people. I've done that.
Yeah, great. But the point I'm trying to make is I teach guys a skill set, right? If I give you a gun and you shoot yourself in the foot, is that my fault? If I taught you how to properly use it, how to disassemble it, you know, how to load the magazine in properly, all that. If I give you the skill set, then you...
Yeah, facts. I ain't gonna lie to you. I agree with Myron on this one. Like, bro, if you tell me, bro, sleeping with a bunch of women will make you happy and all that, smooth, calm, collected, all right, that's my choice. I'm still going to go do it. Like, just because I know if I rob a bank and I can get away with it, I can become wealthy, but then I get locked up in jail. Nigga, I still went in the bank and robbed it. Like, that's my fault. Just because I'm hearing somebody tell me sleeping with a bunch of women, get rich, all this, blah, blah, blah. So I do that. That's not his fault that you're listening to him. That's still your fault. You listen to him, if that makes sense.
You shoot yourself in the foot, right? Is that really my fault? No, I just arm you with the skill set. Then you choose what you want to do with it. Now, obviously, you wanted to go on you wanted to go toward a sex escapade, which is, I guess, fine. But the reality is, I armed you with the tools to become an attractive guy, and you utilize that. You can't come back and get mad.
No,
and
you
say,
didn't arm me with that. I became attractive when I followed Jesus. That was it.
Oh, okay. Now it's changing the story.
No, I'm not changing any story. It's one thing to be attractive in the sense of gaining sexual partners, but it's a completely different thing to be attractive to someone that wants to marry you and spend their life with you and have kids with you. Those are two completely different sexual attractions. If I walk in here looking like Thor, I'm 6'2" and shredded, obviously I'm going to be attractive to women, but it doesn't mean that that's a relationship that produces value for me and my family.
And again, everyone is different, right? For you, it took some time, and you found God and you shifted. But the reality is I gave you the skill set, and then you choose what you want to do. That's up to you, and you made that decision, not me. I just taught you what to do,
exactly.
how to do it.
It's on me 100%. I'm not placing blame on you. But what I'm telling you, from someone that listens
here's the other
to you,
thing,
I'm
too,
trying
that
to
you
let
gotta
you know
understand.
what happens when you speak to people and tell them to do these things.
Here's the other thing, too. Like, now you're operating with 20/20 hindsight. You went through it. You experienced
Correct.
it. You
That's
know.
true.
A lot of guys need to get their hand burned sometimes to figure out how things work. Because let's be honest, men are very stubborn.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie to you though. That's facts though. Some dudes need to be a hoe sometimes. Like I got friends that are straight lover niggas, bro. They love, and they get played by every girl they get with. And it's like, bro, you got to figure out these signs, gang. Like, bro, it's not like, cause then they'll tell us what happened. And we like, nigga, that shit sounded sus to begin with. Like, how you ain't pick up on that? But it's just like, niggas just don't know. Like, literally, just niggas don't know. Women are evil, bro.
Why do they need to do that? If they find a God-fearing woman, they wouldn't do half the stuff you're talking about.
Most women are not God-fearing, bro. They really not. Like, I'm being so serious. Even some people in the church women, bro, I guarantee you, a lot of them probably getting cracked by the preacher on some real shit.
Well, here's the thing. Finding a God-fearing woman in today's day and age is a lot harder said than done, right? So
I did it.
Yeah, it's a lot harder.
And so did everyone in my.
Oh, I hate niggas that say that shit. Like, just because you did it, don't mean every other nigga can do it. Like, I guarantee 7 out of the 10 of these girls, only like 6 to 7 of them go to church every Sunday. Probably 4 read the Bible on the regular. Probably only 7 pray every night. So those that 40% that don't do any of that, they're not God-fearing. Because God-fearing, bro, you would do stuff to show that you're God-fearing. Like, read the Bible, pray, believe in God, go to church and all that. Like, you get what I'm saying?
My whole family. So it's not that hard.
Yeah, that's anecdotal from your perspective. But again, you learned the skill set, you were able to find a wife, and I'm happy about that. But you got to take a little bit of accountability here and understand that you basically got a loaded gun and shot yourself in the foot, and you're trying to blame me for it.
No, I'm not blaming you. Like I said, I take accountability.
Yeah.
There's a big difference there.
Okay.
But look, nothing against you. Like I said, I've hung out with Fresh 8 or 9 times recently. I love them, and I think your heart is in the right place. But I just wanted to give you from someone that actually listened to what you were saying to do, read your book, and it didn't work. That's all I was trying to do for you.
Well, actually, it did. You didn't notice it yet.
Okay.
You're not going to be able to identify your wife and have been able to find her and figure out what characteristics you like and don't like, right? Unless you went through that.
My wisdom came from the Bible, not you. But I appreciate it.
Sure.
Thank you.
I'll tell you what I think. On some real shit, in that whole scenario, I think it came from both. Like, from sleeping with women, you got the reality of women nowadays, but then reading the Bible, you see what a wife should be, if that makes sense. Like, reading the Bible shows you what a wife should be. All right, so boom. In society, you mess with a bunch of girls and all that, you see what woman you want to get with. And then once you got with her, and then those traits from the Bible shows you that's your wife. Does that make sense? I don't know if that made sense, but it made sense in my head. I felt like I was cooking. But don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification. I just feel like they went in a bunch of circles. Like, I got what Myron said, but like, the dude just kind of like proved Myron's point. Like, sleeping with a bunch of women, okay, take accountability. Just like, you could really, like, how much is a bunch of women to y'all? Like, probably like 15, 20, 30. Like, really, you can sleep with like 6 to 8 women and see what you don't want. Really, on some real shit, you can sleep with 4 women and see what you don't want, and sleep with them multiple times, hang out with them a couple times, but you can see what you don't want in a woman. Simple like that, on some real shit. So you don't really gotta sleep with a bunch of women, so therefore that's take accountability, like Myron said. But don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification. See y'all in another video. Put God first and love your family. Bye.